Hey team, happy whatever day it is that you're watching this. I know I am going early. I apologize for that, but my house is nice and quiet and I'm feeling energetic and I'm also avoiding the Peloton. So I'm getting on here early to go ahead and talk Facebook one-on-one for social sellers. This is going to be as basic of an overview of Facebook as I can make it. Without diving super into advanced social selling. That would be something for a different day. But there's lots of points that I wanted to go over. Feel free to take notes. Feel free to come back to this. I will tag it. I'll put it in our units so you can go back and look at it, whenever you need to. And I think it's going to be pretty informative. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. I'm going to do this because I do have a nice presentation to help keep me on track. So I won't be able to see your comments until the end if you have questions. Okay, so Facebook 101 for social selling. And I'm putting me on here and my name and my font because that's my brand. And branding we'll do in a separate training for a different day. Okay, so our agenda, here's the things that I'm going to be talking about today. Your Facebook profile, the Facebook algorithm as of this day in 2021, groups, all things with groups, your own group and other people's groups, stories, and Messenger, because that kind of encompasses the majority of Facebook in a nutshell. We're not going to talk about business pages right now. I guess I can super quickly. The only reason you would need a business pages are pretty much like the yellow pages, the white pages, whatever color pages those are. The only good thing with them is they will come up in a Google search because they are public. You cannot run specials or deals on there. You can't really get to know your ideal customer and client, which we're going to talk about a lot in this Facebook training because Facebook is a social media platform, social. So you have to get social on it. If it's a one-way street and it's not reciprocating, building relationships and being social, you're using it wrong and you're not going to get the full effects of using Facebook as a tool for your business. And that's what we're really talking about today. The average person who is not trying to use Facebook to grow a social selling business, none of this stuff matters to them. But we're being very intentional with using our Facebook in all of the ways that we can as a tool for our business. And that's what sets us apart. So I want you to think now of the profiles and how people act who are, those influencers, the people who are the top of our team, the top of our company, the top of other companies, and what sorts of material you see them sharing, what their profile kind of looks like. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to kind of model ours off of. So your profile, this is what pulls up when you type in, my name, Lindsay Dollinger, and I pull it up and it has my friends, it has my cover photo, it has my picture. So your profile picture needs to be you. I would go as far as saying there should be no one else in it. It should just be you. And if it's someone else and it's not even you, girl, like we got to get at you like 10 days ago. Okay. So it needs to be you. Now, if you are supporting a cause, then change the little thing around it or put some words there at the bottom or, wear a shirt supporting your cause. But your profile picture ideally is you. It is up close, as far up close as you can so people will actually be able to recognize you. And if you can, so like you'll see, I am well branded throughout this whole thing. This color is my color. So if I can wear a pink top in my profile picture, even better, cream of the crop, can't get any better than that. Now, it doesn't need to be a professional picture. It can be a picture. It can be a very, very nice selfie. It can be a picture you have someone else take, whatever you need to do for it to be of you and that people can recognize you. Then your cover picture. Your cover picture is up at the top. There's lots of things you can do with a cover photo. This can be the place where you put a picture of your family if you want to. This can be a place where you can put some words on it, like your slogan, your motto, if you have that. If you don't have that, and the majority of you guys probably don't have that, that's totally fine. That we'll talk about that in our branding piece. You can put that there. But ideally, it is something that, goes with your brand, goes with what you're posting. And again, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. I should actually probably have done this slide later because there's a lot of things on here that'll come up later. Your motto. So underneath your profile picture is a spot for you to write something. Let me actually pull up my profile on my phone since I'm on my computer. So I edited mine on my phone, and I don't know if you can see that, probably not. I edited mine on my phone so I could put an emoji. And so mine says my name, Lindsay Dollinger, at the top. And then my motto, like, what is my purpose? What's my intention of being on Facebook? And I have mine is I lead women to financial independence and success in direct sales, because I am branding myself not only as a leader with Color Street, but also as, I have coaching with direct sales in general. And then right underneath it, I have my personal website. This is not a Color Street website. This is my personal website, www.lindsaydollinger.com. A lot of people have things like, busy mom of two, high school Spanish teacher, and love to travel. That's fine. You can have that, but everyone has that. Okay, so if you tell people, like if someone comes to my profile and that's what they see, they know what I'm all about, right? They know, okay, well, financial independence. Now I'm curious, how does she do that? Success in direct sales. Okay, what company is she with? So it's not a bad thing to leave people wondering a little bit more. Now, I am super anti never saying your company name. That's just my personal thing. So I don't think it's a bad thing to say Color Street or whatever company. I mean, obviously you're watching this, your Color Street, but so I don't think that's a bad thing. Okay, so then underneath of that, there's a button, and this is currently what it says, add to story. What does that tell me? That tells me that stories are the most important thing on Facebook right now, and they are. And we'll talk about that as well when we get to the story slide. Then I have my business pages are linked. Again, you don't necessarily need one of those. I have where I'm located. I think location is really important so people can find you. I have my Instagram linked, and I have my Linktree and my website both linked there. The next thing that comes up on an app are your 9, what do they call them? Your 9 featured pictures. I would choose pictures that are featured. Here, let me actually, well, no, it's okay. I would choose things that are featured that are part of you, that people think of when they think of you. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about your brand, because your brand is on here next. When we're talking about your brand, and this is a super, super, super quick overview, because like I said, I want to do another brand training specifically, because branding, we could do it for weeks if we wanted to get really nitty gritty on it. So your easiest thing for your brand is, what do people think of when they think of you? What do people come to you for advice? Or what are things that you are really, really, really passionate about? So most people say family. Okay. I would say the majority of people, family is something that's really important, or their faith is something that's really important. Is it something that, like, are you religious to the point where you want to share that continuously, and that's one of the things you want to be known for? If so, that's awesome. That'll be one of your brand pillars. If not, like, I am a person, I have my faith, but I don't share about it and post about it regularly. That's not one of the things. I don't think people are like, she's super religious, which maybe that's a bad thing. But so that's not part of my brand. It doesn't mean that I'm not, but it doesn't mean that it's one of the things that I'm continually posting about on social media. So brand, I want you to think of 3 to 5 things. 3 to 5 things. And again, this is just a really basic brand overview, but 3 to 5 things that people think of when they think of you. So like mine is teaching travel, Disney, nails, business stuff along with the nails now, and my dog Bella. My family is so important to me. I'm also very passionate about lots of things, breast cancer awareness, taking care of your body. Health has always been really important to, like, there's other things that are obviously people will come to me for or whatever, but those other things are the things that I'm really posting about the majority of the time. So think of your 3 to 5 things. That'll help as you're getting to your posting. That'll help as you are trying to encompass your brand. Same thing with colors. Your branding colors, not that important right now. As you start establishing and going more in depth with your brand, like, people think of me now when they see this pink with these 2 fonts, because those are my fonts that I use. Same thing with that color. So as you start doing more and more stuff with it, think about it. Maybe your cover photo for your group page, which we're going to talk about later, always has this shade of pink in it or something. Okay, so taking that brand, and a brand, guys, can be something that you put out on your Facebook wall and you ask. This is a great engagement post. What are 3 to 5 things you think of when you think of me? And don't give them any like, I think of blah, blah, blah. Just see what people say. And you might need to prompt them a little and say, like, not adjectives, but like, what are my 3 to 5 things that I am known for enjoying or known for being an expert in or something like that. Okay, so now you know what you're known for. Now, when you're picking those 9 feature pictures that are at the top, if you're on a mobile, or they're over on the left if you're on a desktop, now you can pick pictures that go with those themes. So, like, one of mine is a picture of our team at Disney. And so it covered 2 things, Disney and team. One of them is me and one of my best friends running at the Running of the Bulls in Pamplona. One of them is me and my family at Christmas time with all 4 of us here when my mom was still alive. Because I posted about my mom having passed away a lot. That's something that people really connect with me with. And I actually don't remember what the other one was. And then the other 4 are quotes that I have that are like empowerment quotes, because I like to empower women. And then the middle one is my VIP group. And I have a link to a training on that if you want to know how to make your VIP group your middle picture there that's featured, and it's clickable. So people can actually click right into my VIP group anytime if they know how to do it. Okay, so that's kind of like your brand. And your brand is also going to tie into your posts, because as you're deciding what to post, and it's not that you can't post anything that's not on your brand. Like, I just did a post kind of halfway venting, kind of entertaining to people about how I was on the phone for 45 minutes arguing about paying an insurance bill. So those things obviously are the things that make us relatable. I don't want you to stop posting the things that make you relatable and the things that make you you. I just want you to think about your brand, especially if you're planning out your content and you're being intentional. And we've shared in the team page that Trello board with lots of ideas. Like Monday, you could talk Monday motivation, Monday mantra, Money Monday, Manny Monday. There's all kinds of things that you could think of that you don't necessarily have to say on the top of the post, it's Manny Monday, but like that can drive your ideas for your posts. So for your branding, maybe on Tuesday, maybe I do Travel Tuesdays. And I just share a picture of a place that I've traveled, and it brings entertainment to people. Sometimes it might bring value. I might share travel tips, and people are connecting and talking to me. Wednesdays might be Wealth Wednesdays. Wednesday might be Women Inspiring Women Wednesdays. So like I just started Fierce Female Friday. So I'm shouting out a woman either on our team or another girl boss that I know and love who I see it rocking their business, right? So I'm doing a little graphic, I'm doing a little post, tagging them, making it public so their people can also see it. And that's a really great way to get visibility and to build yourself as, I want to say, like a thought leader, an expert, a leader, depending on what, topic you're posting about. But, if you're continuously posting, maybe one of your things is crock pot meals. Maybe you really love to cook. Maybe you're awesome at crafting and you want to share the latest craft you did and ask people to share theirs. And so that's going to give you that clout, right? People are going to start coming to you and they're going to start coming to your page because they know to expect those sorts of things. That's really how I got into selling travel. Was so many people were coming to me asking for travel advice and asking me to plan portions of their trips and things, and I wasn't getting any commission for it. So now I can sell Disney trips. So that's kind of, that kind of how that works. So your posts, I don't remember if I talk about this later. I think I do. Yeah, I definitely do. I talk more about posting, but, kind of think, is what I'm sharing something that people are going to enjoy looking at, or is it a picture of, oh my gosh, I don't know. Or is it a picture of my socks not matching and I think they're really cute? That you can put in your Facebook stories. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. I hope this doesn't confuse you. The idea of this was not to confuse anyone, I promise. It is just to be informative. And I hope my internet's not out. I guess I can't tell. All right, so let's talk Facebook algorithm. So here's the list of the things that are the top of, like, the top dogs on Facebook, on the Facebook wall. This is not stories, but this is your Facebook wall. So the thing that has the most chance of being seen by people that Facebook's going to push out to the most people are Facebook Lives. It just is. So if you're afraid of them, get over them. Way more than half people aren't ever going to know you even did a live. I think, oh gosh, I heard a percentage. It's like less than 10% of people that you're Facebook friends with see your stuff. Way less than 6%. Actually, I almost want to say it's like 1%. But so anyway, people aren't seeing them anyway, unless they go like viral, unless people are sharing them, unless people are tagging people in them, which aren't bad call to actions to ask people to do, is to comment below with where you're coming in from. Comment below if you've ever tried a meal delivery service. I did that one tonight on my live. Comment below if you've never tried Color Street and want me to send you a free 2-finger tester. Share this with a friend to get a 2-finger tester to try. That's a smart one. All right, so number 1 is live. Number 2 is a recorded video. So if you recorded one in your VIP group and you click to download it to your phone, which you can do. Someone was telling me they didn't know that. So if you do a live video, before you click share, there's a button right above it that says save. I always save them. Save it, and especially if you don't have any deals or anything in it, you can post it to Instagram TV, you can post it to YouTube, you can post it in other Facebook groups, but you can't just necessarily share it and then share it out, especially if you did it in a closed group, because anything that happens in a closed group stays in a closed group. You're not able to share that out unless it's a public group, which we don't have. Okay, so video is the number 1 thing. People want to be seen, they want to be heard. That's the number 1 way to get people to see your content. The next is posts. If you include emojis in the text, posts that have a GIF there at the bottom, and posts that have a picture with them, not just a picture by itself. I really hope no one in here is just throwing up a picture with nails by itself and not saying like what the sets are, or putting some sort of commentary on it. Like that's like real bad for the algorithm. Okay, so you need to have some kind of words with emojis, GIFs, pictures. That's the next kind of thing. And with that, avoid common call to action. So a couple years ago, Facebook kind of caught on to us direct sellers putting some of the common call to actions, like, oh my gosh, I can't even think of any off the top of my head, but people were really bad doing them in some of the companies, like saying things like comment below if, sometimes can have a negative effect, especially if people don't comment on it right away, which is the bottom bullet point there. When you're posting something, the more immediately people comment on it and do the love, likes, the thumbs up likes do nothing for the algorithm. The love does stuff for the algorithm. So the more quickly after you post, people immediately comment, and they comment more than, I think it's 3 or 4 words, the better your post is going to perform in the algorithm. The more Facebook's going to be like, oh, people are actually interested in this post. We're going to push it out so more people see it. Otherwise, if it's kind of a dead post, people are going to have to search for it. And I'll give you some tricks on that in a minute. Posts with just words are like the bottom of the bottom for getting shared out. I try not to do them. If I do them, I try to make it really short so I can change the background to include like the Bitmoji of myself or one of their pictures. Because one thing that Facebook does like is if you use their tools. So if you, and you can only do this from a laptop, but if you are typing out a post and you copy certain parts of it, I hope you notice that it pops up. You can make things bold or italic or change the font. There's like a couple font options. Facebook likes when you are able to do those sort of things and use the tools in Facebook, like the Facebook scheduler. And I said immediate comments. I skipped shared content. Shared content. When you share content, like if someone posts a recipe and you click share and it goes onto your wall, that gives you like no algorithm juice at all. That does not count for you making a post for the day. So if, and I recommend everyone make at least one, maybe one or two posts on your personal wall, not a group, your personal wall every day. This is how people are going to develop that know, like, and trust factor. And people buy from and people join the teams of people they know, like, and trust. If they never see your face, if they don't know your voice, the chances of them joining your team or buying nail sets from you is pretty slim. It might happen. It totally might happen. But I know, for example, when I was joining this company, there was a woman running a party that I was in. That's actually who I tried the nails with for the first time. And I didn't join with her. I didn't know her. I'd never heard her voice. I'd never seen her face. And a friend of mine sent me a message and said, hey, I just started selling with Color Street. I'd like to send you, what did she say? Here's my VIP group if you'd like to join. I said, actually, I'd like to be a stylist because I knew her and I liked her and I trusted her. And I've actually never met her in person. We did LuLaRoe together back in the day, but I knew her from that. So anyway, people want to get to know you. That's why it's really important to share all the pieces of you. You're not just a mom. You're not just a teacher. You're not just a whatever you want to fill in the blank there. You're not just a nurse. You are your name. I am Lindsay Dollinger, and I have lots of pieces of me that make up me. And it's my job to share them. Because here's the thing, and I heard this in a podcast that was really great, and then I'm going to move on before I get on my soapbox. I want people to know about me because I don't want to attract the wrong people. If what I'm saying and it's something that I believe and I stand for and I'm putting it out there and other people don't agree with it, that's fine. I don't want them on my team anyway, to be perfectly honest. I'm very not as much vocal since I'm also a teacher, but I am very strong in my beliefs about certain things. And I'm not going to go into all of them on here, but I don't necessarily want people in my group who hate other people, for example. Like I don't want you to be my customer. You can shop with someone else. So if you're afraid that by putting yourself out there and by sharing those parts of you that are really important, that it's going to turn certain people off, good. Right? Because if you're selling to everyone, if you're trying to attract everyone, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. You're going to attract the right people by honing in on the things. So I attract people who love Disney. I attract people who are teachers. I attract people who love to travel. I attract people who believe in diversity and equal rights and all those sorts of things because I post about them. And the people, I've been able to wean out the people who I don't want. So anyway, okay, off my soapbox. That's the algorithm. Let's see. Woo, more about the algorithm. Okay, then here's some more tips. Don't post and ghost. So don't make a big post or not even a big post, but a post where people are going to be commenting. And hopefully most of your posts are going to be people commenting. And then turn off your phone for an hour or get in the shower or ride the Peloton or whatever. Okay, so you need to be around for, 5 or 10 minutes. You don't have to be staring at your phone. You can use that time to be doing other things like sending messages or scheduling posts or whatever. But you need to be available so that when your first person comments, you can comment back. Now, if you make a post and you're like twiddling your thumbs and it's been 5 or 10 minutes, no one's commenting, it doesn't mean the post is bad. It just means no one's on right now. You're right, people aren't seeing it. In which case, and I put it looks like the 5th bullet point there, you're still going to comment back to everyone, no matter what. Even if someone says like, this is so good, say, Thanks, lady. I really appreciate it. If you made your first Green Chef thing and I'm doing a live video and someone says hi, go back and comment and say hi. I hope you had a good day. Even if you said hi to them in the video, go back and comment. Okay. So one little trick here is in the second bullet point. Before you make your post or before you go live or before you announce something is getting ready to drop and you're super excited about it, go in if you have time and comment on for like 5 to 10 minutes on some of your ideal people that you want to see that post. And comment, legitimate things. Comment things that really make sense and are genuine. Don't just comment hi on people's pictures or love. Say something that's genuine. If someone put up their family pictures, I really love the second picture. Your family looks amazing. Who's your photographer? Okay. It doesn't take long. So comment on some people's things so that Facebook sees that you're on there, you're active, and then do your post. And then comment back to people who comment on it. Get in the private messages. Okay, guys, this is where the money is. I don't care what other people say. You have to be private messaging people. And the private messages are on a different slide. I'll go into that more, but private messages are where you're going to build your business. People are going to know, like, and trust you from what you put out there in your storefront, what you put out there in your reality TV show, but you're going to really hook them in and they're going to be a fan for life if you get in their PMs and you really get to know them. Have engaging comment on content, not shared. So if you pull up your Facebook profile and you're scrolling down through it and there's nothing written from you, it's all stuff that you've shared or people have tagged you in, girl, that is not engaging. Okay. And sharing stuff constantly is kind of spammy, and we don't want to be spammy Kathys. So if you find something you're like, absolutely, there's no way you could put it into your own words and it really has to be shared, go ahead and share it, but put why you're sharing it in the thing. Don't just click the share button and have it up there. I'm sharing this because I think it's hysterical. I really love this TV show. Who here is a fan of The Big Bang Theory? Like, put something else in it besides just clicking the share button, right? But that engaging content, again, this is going to come off of your pillars. This is going to be how people get to know you. Maybe you post something about Disney, your Disney trip countdown. What's everyone's favorite ride at Disney World? Dude, Disney people are fanatics, and don't take mine just because you want to like jump on the train. If you really love Disney and you're a fanatic, like I know Lexi really loves Disney, Anne really loves Disney, Jen, those are things you could comment about. Jen really loves her dogs and with everything that she does with dogs. Gosh, I could go on and on about people with her team. So post stuff that's like legit your jam, and you should have no problem coming up with engaging content. And content can be a whole nother training in itself. Don't copy and paste someone else's post. Y'all, I'm about to kick some of you guys out of my VIP group because you copy and pasted my post on the daily. You can model off of people all day long. You can be like, oh, I really like how she worded that question. I should put a question like that in my post. That's totally fine. But if you are legit copying the entire thing that someone wrote with the exact same picture that they have and you're posting it in your group, not only are you ruining your algorithm, because that's plagiarizing and Facebook doesn't like the same thing being shown multiple places, but you're also killing the original post. So you're hurting my post because you're too lazy to rewrite stuff. Just being honest. So put some new emojis in there. If I wrote something in all caps, maybe you don't write that word in all caps. Gosh, there's so many ways you can do it. You can reword things, but put things in your own words. And here's the other thing too, guys. If you are copying and pasting, so say Kelly France did a really awesome post and you are copying and pasting Kelly France's words. Those aren't the words. The way she says things is not the way people are expecting you to say things. So then guess who they're falling in love with? Kelly France. They're not falling in love with Lindsay Dollinger if I do that. They're falling in love with Kelly France. And I want people to fall in love with Lindsay Dollinger. So I need to say things the way I would say them. So if I'm really excited about something, I might say, oh my gosh, girl, and I actually say girl, like, oh my gosh, girl, I cannot believe it. Or I say a lot, like, your vibe attracts your tribe. If you don't say those things, then don't say it. When you get excited about something and you don't say, oh my gosh, don't say, oh my gosh. Okay, so people need to this is part of the getting to know and love and trust you. Use your own words. It doesn't take that long, I promise. Okay, so just use your own words. You can definitely take people's ideas and make them your own. If someone posts something, and I've had this happen a lot, I'll scroll and I'm like, oh, I totally forgot to remind people about today's launch. Like, use that as a good reminder, but I don't take people's content. Okay, best times to post and how often. Okay, so best times to post when people are online. So just because you are online at 1 a.m. because you can't sleep, are the majority of your people going to be online at 1 a.m. because they can't sleep? Maybe. Maybe that's the person, your ideal customer or client. Mine's not. My ideal customer client that I'm trying to attract, my business builders, are teachers. So they're usually offline by like 9:30. And we're also usually up early. We're usually up at 5 or 5:30. So I have posts in my group in the mornings anywhere between usually 6:15 and 6:45. 7 is my morning post in my group. And then I know that when I do my girls' night ins, it needs to be in the evening, because if I do them at dinner time, it's dinner time. People aren't on their phone, right? If I'm posting something between like 8 and 10 a.m., normal people, if you have a job, I shouldn't say normal people, working women who that's my ideal customers, are not online then because we are working. So think about that. If you're doing a post at 1:30 because you might be on your break, are other people on their break? So you can actually see in your Facebook group the times that people are most active. There's like analytics you can pull up to see that. So mine are usually between, honestly, like 5:30, 7 in the morning. And then around lunchtime. So think when people's lunchtime is. Sometimes right after work. So like 3 to 4. And then not again until between like 8 and 10. So I know if I post something at 5:30, the amount of people commenting on it very low. If I'm doing a Facebook Live at that time, people aren't going to be watching it unless it's someone who is in the pickup line for their kids at school or something like that. So keep in mind how often to post. You'll get a lot of different answers for that. My idea, what I've been told, what I practice, I post 1 time a day on my Facebook profile. Sometimes 2. I'm going to go ahead and put these on. My eyes are starting to hurt. Sometimes 2, depending on the day. And then in my Facebook group, unless it's my girls' night and party night, unless we have a launch or something coming up, it is 3 times a day max. In the morning, I post a graphic with like what national holiday it is and put something little about me and what I'm thinking of, and maybe ask a question. In the middle of the day, I do a nail fee that's scheduled to post. And then in the evening, sometimes I don't do anything. Sometimes I do a game. Sometimes I do something about the business. That's my schedule. I'm going to get some water real quick. All right. Ideas for engaging content and building your brand. Again, this is a really quick overview. What do people think of coming to you for? Do they ask you for advice for travel? Do they ask you for parenting tips? Do they ask you for recipes? Do they ask you for time management, organization? Are you really good at remodeling homes? Are you known for your pet advice? Like Jen Guy sent me some pet advice, which was really helpful. So what are the people coming to you for? That's part of your brand. That's what you're known for. That's the kind of stuff you should be posting and sharing, so more people know you for that. Generally, posts fall into these 2 categories for me: something that's entertainment, something that's educational. And I was listening to something, and it was talking about, just posting a picture of your trip. That's really great, but can you make it educational? Like, tell people how if Disney was crowded or not, if it was COVID friendly or not, or entertainment. Like I've posted funny vacation pictures of me before, to get some laughs. At least 4 hours between posts. If you are doing any more than that, 1, your posts are competing with each other on which one Facebook shows to other people, so people aren't going to see them all. And 2, it can just be a lot. You don't want muted by people. You don't want people leaving your group because you're posting too much. So again, unless something like earth-shattering happens, or I did a post 2 hours ago and then something really, really cool happened, and I can't wait to share it. A general rule is at least 4 hours, at least. When you're writing in your posts, put some spaces in. Don't just write a giant long paragraph. You'll notice the things that are easier to read for people, like you're putting a thought, you're like doing the return bar and putting some spaces, another thought, more spaces, etc. Make it easy to read. Maybe put bullet points, maybe put little emojis as bullets. Include a call to action. Now, I realized I contradicted myself a little because earlier I said be careful with call to actions, and I do want you to be careful with call to actions. But asking a question, especially an open-ended question, is an awesome call to action. Saying share or tag, comment are things that sometimes can get flagged unless a lot of people are commenting on it. So just make it feel natural. If your video has nothing to do with nails and you're putting below, type the word nails for blah, 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 like Facebook can sense that it doesn't make any sense. Make your posts public when you can. Unless it's something that you really, really, really don't want shared, you really want to hide something. I make as many as my posts public as I feel comfortable doing. Anything about the business, public. Anything about, travel or whatnot. Now, if I don't want people to like publicly to know that I'm not at my house for the weekend or whatever, I might not make that public. Things like that, or I'll make it public later. You can go back later and make things public. You can change the privacy of things at any time. But I really want to, you don't have to make your whole profile public. You can. If your profile is public, then people can click to follow you, which is kind of nice. It's almost like having a business page. Mine is still private, but I make a ton of my posts public so that like if a VIP comes to me or someone I met out at a vendor event or whatever pulls up my name, they can scroll and see, okay, I'm not super spammy. This is a good thing. 2, I'm actually active on there, and they can see what I'm all about, like how I talked about earlier, the things that I'm passionate about. I want to attract the right people so people can kind of get a feel for me before they click to friend me or not. No stock images shared. Okay, so this one is a little tricky. And this is what I mean by this. If the only time you're talking about your business, Color Street, on your personal page is you sharing that flyer. So like today we had the space case launch. If the only time your people are hearing that you're a Color Street stylist, you are also sharing a flyer and trying to get them to buy, that's spammy. If you are also doing things like talking about the fun that you have, the financial freedom that your business has brought, fun, financial freedom, fingernails, what are all the F's? Oh gosh, there's all kinds. I can't think of them right now. Jomi can write what they are in the comments. But if the only time that you are sharing about Color Street is stock images, you need to stop. You need to be putting something else. A video of you, or if you're scared to do videos, a picture of you with your twosies you just got in, and you're super excited because you've been wanting to see Home Sweet Home in person and you finally did, and it's really awesome. Maybe you want to do like a boomerang. Maybe this is your call to action to get people to try, and you put your link. Maybe it's a picture of you with them all on the floor and you're like, oops, spilled my nail polish. Maybe it's a screenshot of our last Zoom team training, anything, but you need to be peppering Color Street in and peppering your business blessings in, which is the next bottom point here. And that's how you want to talk about Color Street. You don't want the only time people to hear about Color Street is a flyer that you stick up. Okay. So just try to be mindful of that. If you've done it, we've all done it. We've all been there. I've shared the flyer. I shared the flyer in my stories, which we're going to talk about stories in a sec. That's totally fine. And it's fine to share the flyer if you're sharing about your business and all the fun you're having and the empowerment it gives you and how you are using the mindset in your work life too, and like different things. That's totally fine. But don't let the only exposure to Color Street that people get from you be a stock image. Business blessings. Okay. Business blessings could be another whole thing by itself. Business blessings is basically just sharing any of those things about your business. Finances, time freedom, the sisterhood that we have, the friends, the fellowship. Maybe you hit a promotion or a new rank. Maybe someone on your team did. Maybe you want to give a team shout out. Those are so important. Maybe you want to give a customer shout out. Maybe you want to give a shout out that a customer sent you a thank you card. Customers were sending Amelia thank you cards for things. Those are all business blessings. Okay. And they can be a direct business blessing, just like that. It could be a subtle one. Like maybe this is a picture of my Real Pretty Vibes conference, Orlando. Maybe it's a picture of me with that. And it's a throwback, and I'm really missing our fun times that we had. I guess that's kind of direct too, in Orlando. But those are business blessings to pepper in the business opportunity. Oh my gosh, this is so much longer than I thought it was going to be. All right, going to try to speed up. Groups. So your group, the name of your group, as a reminder, you cannot have Color Street in it, Color or Street, or Color Street. So you have your group name. I think you can only change the name once every 30 days. I encourage having your name and the name of your group. So like mine is Nails on Point VIPs with Lindsay Dollinger. That way, if people are searching for you and they type in Lindsay Dollinger, not only will they get my profile, but they'll also get my group, which is fun. The cover picture, if you can have you in it, that's awesome. That's probably the best thing. You can go to canva.com. I have a really great Canva training, a couple of them actually in our team space. If you just type in Canva, C-A-N-V-A, in the search bar, that'll come up how to do a cover picture. So I like to change mine out. It's a really good thing, and I don't do it as much as I can, or I should, would be to change the cover photo when you have big events coming up. So maybe next week you're doing a nail bash. Change your cover photo to say that and put some details on it, make it fun. If you have and I'm not even going into party groups today, but for my party groups, for my cover, I have a picture of me and a picture of my hostess or hostesses, and I have a little info about it. I recommend that everyone have a pinned post. A pinned post is a post that you make, and then after you post it, in the top right, there are little dots you can click to edit it. You click that, and instead of clicking edit post, you just click mark as announcement. And that'll bring it up to the announcement so that when someone goes to your group for the first time, that's the first thing that they see. So in that pinned post, I would like you to introduce yourself. I would like you to have a link to your current open shopping, your website. I would like you to have a link to your sample form. If you don't have a sample form, I would highly suggest you making one. We have some great trainings on that as well. It's in the new stylist checklist. But if you don't have a sample form, then put a call to action there. Drop a GIF below for a free sample or whatever. I also have linked in there an application video so that all these things, guys, are in a place so that I know if someone sends me a message and says like, hey, how do I apply these or whatever, I can either one, tag them in that post, or two, I can quickly go to that post and copy it and send it to them. And my pinned posts, I modeled off of, oh gosh, I can't even remember now, but it's in the templates in our group. So have a pinned post there with information about you, most importantly, where they can buy, how they can sample, how they can apply. Same deal. We already kind of talked about what time, what to post, and how often in groups. Schedule your posts. This is a lifesaver. There's no need, unless there's like an emergency or something to come up, for you not to have stuff posting in your group. And I actually get to schedule. I think my scheduled post ran out today. So when you go to post it, instead of like you make your post, instead of clicking post now, you can click, there's like a little button right to the next to it. If you're on a phone and on a laptop at the top, it says schedule, and you can schedule your post. So do that. Welcome new members. So when you are in your Facebook group and you click on your members, there's a place, and it has moved a couple of times, but there's a place in there that it shows you all the people who've joined your group in the last week. So I like to, one, send them all a private message. Hey, name, welcome to my Color Street group. I'm so excited you're here. Thursday nights, we always do girls' night in. Have you ever tried Color Street before? I'd love to send you a sample. So I send them a PM, but I also always tag them in my pinned post with all my info in it, and say, welcome, and do like a little GIF. Utilize the events feature in your group if you're not. I use the events for big things, like if I'm doing a Facebook Live. I have an event going right now And I'm not even really posting in the event. I have like once or twice. I just kind of post the info, what's going on, but utilize the events in order so that people get a notification that they're going on. And they can RSVP to them. Oh gosh, settings to have. I really got to start talking quicker. Some settings to do. You want a private group. Oh, she had her baby. Oh, that's so nice. I'm pulling on my Facebook. That's what happens. Okay. So in the settings, which is in the top right on mobile, I think it's on the left now on Facebook, depending on when you're watching this. But you should be able to go to your settings because you're an admin for your group settings. You can change the color if you want. Privacy, mine's private. Yours should be private as well. Membership, add membership questions. Mine are, have you ever heard of Color Street? What's your favorite color? Are you interested in booking a party to earn free nails or learning more about the business opportunity? You would be surprised the people that say maybe or yes, and they get followed up on pretty quickly. Who can approve member requests? Only admins. Let's see. Automatic member approval, you can do that or not. So you can click if people are friends with people, then you don't see their answers though if you turn that on. Who can post? Mine's set to anyone can post. Approve member posts on. You need that on. You want that because this is going to stop people from sharing spammy crap into your group. One time I had a woman message me mortified, which thankfully I had that on. She shared some like really, 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 really raunchy, horrible picture in my group. And it was up for me to approve. Thankfully, no one else saw it and sent me a message and was like, oh my gosh, I did not mean to send that to your group. It just posted, whatever. Okay, whatever, girl. And I think that's really it. Notifications. Oh my gosh, mine was in highlights. No, all posts. So you want your in-app notifications to be all posts. And turn on all your push notifications for like a member request, pending posts, all those things. And then obviously, save your settings. So it's not a bad idea to go in there and check on those every once in a while, because Facebook does update it. I don't see any comments. I hope I'm actually live in our group. Okay, I am. Facebook does actually update your settings without telling you and changes them from time to time. As we just saw, my notifications for my own group were only part of them. Okay. So this is a level up. I'm going to go through this super quickly because this is not basic social media. This is if you are already got all the basics that I was mentioning and you are here to level up. I want you into interest groups. What does this mean? It means you are in groups for all the moms. You're in your dog group. You're in your Disney group. You're in your Peloton group. You're in your teacher groups. You're in your Instant Pot groups. Whatever you were in groups for. I know you were in groups, girl. Maybe you're in makeup groups. This isn't someone else's. This isn't. Oh gosh, I probably should have taken that. This isn't someone else's group where they are selling things. This is like a public interest group. I want you to get in there. Don't spend a lot of time on this. Set a reminder on your phone. Set a timer on your phone, 5 minutes, and be in those groups for 5 minutes and then get out. So comment, maybe it's one, maybe you're focusing on one group each day. Maybe it's 2 groups each day. You pick. I wouldn't do much more than that. But go through, comment some thoughtful comments. If I'm in my Peloton group and someone posts that they lost all this weight, I'm going to cheer them on. I might ask them, what are you doing? Can you explain your diet to me? I genuinely want to know those things. Okay. So it's not something that is just like fluff. Ask a question in there. I have asked, in my Peloton teacher group, like what time of day do you ride or do you fit your rides in for your Peloton? I'm tired usually when I get home from work and then I get more energy in the evening, but then I'm up late. What do you do for that? I've gotten so much good feedback from those sorts of things. Also, share value. If I had and I'm just going to use my Peloton group because that's what I'm thinking of. If I had a really awesome ride and I stacked it with another ride and another one and it worked perfectly for an hour and I'm like jazzed about it, I'm going to share that. I'm going to take a picture of that ride. I'm going to share it in that group and let people know. And then don't just do that though, guys. the nice thing with that is if you have done all the other things and you set up your profile and some of your posts are public and people can see that you're not just a teacher, but you're also all these other things, that's going to really help for this next step, because now you're going to add some of those people as friends. Don't just pick randos, but I'm going through and I'm looking at women, specifically teachers. That's my market audience. So teacher women who are positive and they're nice and maybe they have commented back on my thing a couple times. Okay, those are my people. So I'm going to Facebook friend them, send them a super quick message. Hey, Susie, we were just chatting in the Peloton teacher group. I thought I'd send you a friend request because you seem like my kind of people. Hope that's okay. Love to hear more about you sometime. Done and done. And now your cold market, or you have other people now into your cold market that you get to warm up, that you get to become friends with, and you get to be social with, and you get to network with. We are network marketing. Network. You have to be building your network. If you're not adding new friends on these social media platforms, people you know or don't know, and not just adding them, but also messaging them, also commenting with them, your network is not going to grow, especially right now in a pandemic. Okay. And interact with their posts and stories. Don't be weird. Don't do like 10 at a time, but you can do one. Okay. All right. Going quicker. Stories. Facebook loves stories. I mentioned that at the very beginning, that right at the top under your profile now. And when you go onto the main feed of the app, it shows stories. That's the first thing at the top. Same thing with Instagram. And this works for Instagram too. Instagram and Facebook stories get seen by way more people than your static posts on your wall ever will. So you can be a posting queen. You can be doing all the lives in the world. You need to be in stories. What to post in your stories? Stop posting the stock images from Color Street. Stop doing it. You can post one of them. Sure. But if that's the only thing in your story all the time, that's so spammy. It's so bad. No one's going to look at your story. They're going to skip it. You have to pepper in. Think of stories as a place for your reality TV show. I'm putting in here that I'm drinking my water. I'm putting in here that I'm trying watermelon. I tried watermelon seltzer water and what I thought of it. I'm putting in there my Peloton. I'm putting in there my dinner. I'm putting in there my cute dog. I'm putting in there me working my business. I'm putting in there my new Manny. I'm also putting in there my foot mask that I have on. Okay. They need to see more stuff. Please, please, please stop just putting Color Street stuff in your stories. This is where people are going to get to know you. This is where you can post all that stuff that I don't want you posting on your wall, like necessarily what you have for dinner all the time, unless that's your thing and you're sharing recipes and other stuff. This can be where you can talk. Maybe you're afraid of Facebook Lives. You can do videos on here and just say like, hey, I hope you're having a great morning. Okay, so that's what to post. How often? As much as you want. Post away. Okay, be the story queen. And the cool thing with stories is use the features, especially GIFs, music. The other thing with stories, don't just do videos if you're not putting words. So put some kind of words or caption, because a lot of people watch stories when they can't listen to them, meaning like in line at the grocery, in line picking up their kid or something, waiting at a doctor's office. This is like a scroll thing. So put some kind of caption if you're wanting to do that. Use polls, especially when you do those business posts. Like I really love doing this or that's. So take the this or that's from the graphics groups, put them up there in your stories or make your own. And then you can do this or that's with things that aren't Color Street too. And then making the post, like the poll, scroll up. When you scroll up, there's a poll feature, and make it this or that. You would be surprised the people who vote on them. That goes into my PMs. I can PM them back. Comment on other people's stories. This is a great way if you are afraid to get into Messenger, which is what we're talking about right now. A great way to get into it is by scrolling stories. And at the bottom there, you can leave people messages. You can comment on their things. This is also a really great way for you to connect about different things. I've commented on a lot of times people's recipes, people's outfits, people's makeup, people's kids doing funny things. Some people share political things in there and I comment back on those. That's a really, really great way to strengthen those relationships. All right. So Messenger, I mentioned earlier, this is where relationships are made. this is where your business is really going to get to the next level, you have to get into Messenger. It doesn't need to be Facebook Messenger. It can be your text. But especially right now when we're not seeing people person to person, if you are, great, you can maybe ignore part of this. But if you're wanting to build a social selling business, you got to get into Messenger. Okay, life framework. For those of you who don't know what this is what one of my coaches taught me. L is love bombing. So sending a message, literally any sort of message that's positive. It can literally be a positive message. Hey, Jomi, happy Monday. How's your 2021 been so far? Literally, that can be a love bomb. For inviting, if you're inviting people to be a hostess, to be a stylist, to try your product, to join your VIP group, I don't know, inviting to anything. If you do it via Messenger versus like a blanket post that's just like stuck on the wall, you're going to get way better return in the Messenger. F for follow-up. Send people a follow-up. Hey, Jomi, just checking in. I saw it looked like your nails were delivered on Monday. I'm so excited for you. Please let me know that you got them okay. And let me know which set you're going to wear first. Done and done. E for engage. This is where you keep engaging. So like I just went through and sent a couple of my VIPs who I haven't heard from for a couple months, and then they're like oddly quiet. Sent them a message. This is kind of like a love bomb, but I just was like, hey, RA, I was just thinking of you. I haven't heard from you for a while. I hope everything's going well. Sending you lots of positive vibes. And she responded, hey, Lindsay, thanks so much for thinking of me, sending you some back. It's been a hard couple of months. And I'm like, okay, I hope everything's well. But that's engaging, okay? Use people's names. Even though I actually do in person say, hey, girl, to people, I try to use people's names to make it more personal in Messenger. When possible, use the voice and or video feature. It's right at the bottom. I actually don't know if you can do it from a computer. From a phone, when you compose a message, it actually looks like a microphone. It's right to the left of where you would type. That's for the voice. And then over to for like a camera to do the video. It's a minute long, so you have to be concise. Again, use their name. Hey, Jomi, was just checking in. I really like to use voice memos for follow-ups. I really like to use voice memos if I'm sending people a message, inviting them, because I want them to hear the excitement in my voice. It's also nice too, if you don't want something to be construed a weird way, because I feel like sometimes people can think you're being like one way or the other if you're typing it out. Also really nice if you want to get people interested. So especially for invites, I don't want people just to see and be like, oh, she just invited me to blah, blah, blah. I want them to hear my voice. And I want to know that they listen to it too. Don't rapid send, meaning copy and paste and boom, 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 send it to a lot of people. That's a great way to end up in Facebook jail. And ask a question. If you end with a question, people love to talk about themselves. All right, last slide. Whew, I'm literally losing my voice. Best practices on Facebook. Be consistent. If you're not showing up every day or even every other day, and it's totally cool to take a couple of days off, guys. The nice thing with taking a couple of days off is, especially if it's the same time, like maybe you unplug on the weekends. If you let your people know that, that's fine because you're being consistent. But you need to be consistent. You need to show up, or people aren't going to shop with you. They're not. People want to know that you are someone who's taking your business seriously. They want to know this is not just another thing that you're starting and going to quit. And you're not, right? You're not going to start and quit. You're not being a quitter. So be consistent. Facebook will also reward you for being consistent. Use Facebook's features, that should say features plural. So like I mentioned, use everything. Use stories, use Messenger, use the GIFs, use the poll feature, use whatever you can that Facebook has. Use their scheduler because they're going to reward you in the algorithm for using all of the things that they have. Use it intentionally as a tool. Again, a lot of this stuff that I went over is not for people who don't have businesses, but we are using it intentionally to grow our businesses intentionally. Facebook and Instagram and all these social media platforms are a blessing to our business. Like, can you imagine doing our businesses right now, especially in this pandemic, without these tools? You couldn't have done it. Couldn't have done it. If this would have happened 15 years ago, our businesses would have all died, like legit. So use it intentionally as a tool Recognize that it's a tool. You are doing Facebook a little different than your best friend is who doesn't do social selling. And that's okay. That is 100% okay. Plan it out in advance as much as planning that you can do, whether it's a theme day, whether it's, planning events, whatever. General rule, um, keep your posts on your personal wall 80% personal, 20% selling. Color Street can go into the personal. If you're not dropping a link there for them to actually buy nails from you, that can go into personal. So, like business blessing, like Color Street is a huge part of my life. My team, you guys are a huge part of my life. That is personal to me. My selling is when I'm saying that we have a new launch going up. Okay, that would be a 20% selling. Yeah, that's spelled right. All right. Tag your teammates when you can. Shout out your teammates when you can. Give all that public recognition that we're doing in our team space. Do that on your wall. That's okay. If you don't want to do it on your wall, stories. Stories is where it's at. If you're making a graphic and you're sharing it in our team page and in the behind the scenes group anyway, take that same graphic, stick it up on your stories, tag them, make it public. Especially your newer ladies who may not know this, if you are tagging them, then that they have the ability to show that on their profile too, and that's kind of helping them get the word out that hey, they're doing all these things and they're being successful in their business, and that's also giving them clout and helping to build them up as experts as well, so that people will join them. Whew. Last thing. No policies and procedures. I know we've said this a million times. Whatever the policies and procedures currently are, you need to know them. So know what you can say, know what you can't say. We can't do discounts on our personal wall. We can do them in a private group. We can't say free anything on our personal wall. In regards to Color Street, you can in your group. The only thing you can say is free is buy 3, get 1 free, because that's a Color Street, what's it called? Promo. If you're talking anything about any sort of money that you have made with Color Street, even if you're saying that it paid for your daughter's dance class, include the income disclosure and make sure that you have seen the FTC training that we have in here about that. If you don't know what that is, ask your upline. We can tag you. Any questions? Literally, I have no voice. No Color Street on pets or kids under the age of 13. That's a big one. We're not allowed to say things like recommending to reseal. We're not allowed to tell people how to reseal packages. I'm trying to think of some other things that I've seen lately, and I'm like, ooh, that's a no-no. The Bridgerton group, yes. I'm posting like 6 times a day. I didn't see who said that. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Do you comment to likes, etc.? I'm not sure what I was talking about back then, but as much as I can comment to people, or if people liked it, I haven't done this recently. I've done it in the past. If people liked or loved something, I might tag them and be like, thanks for watching my video. Or even better, slide into their DMs and I say, hey, thanks so much for loving my video. I really appreciate your support in that way. 100%. No resealing, yeah. Life framework for posts, 54-minute mark. Not sure what that one was either, Jomi. Okay, well, I'm going to hop off here. I've been talking for over an hour now. I literally have no voice, and I have a call with Joy in just a minute. No public mention if you're giving proceeds to charity. Yeah, that's still counting. They're counting that as a discount or a special currently. Might change currently in the future. You can't do any of that. So just ask, when in doubt, ask your upline, ask your closest team leader, ask us. But really, guys, read policies and procedures. We're all business owners. That's a whole nother thing, but it's our responsibility. It's our duty to know what we're allowed and what we're not. So if you ask us, I would still double check PMP, because at the end of the day, when Color Street comes after you for making a post you shouldn't have, it's your fault. It's not our fault, right? Gotcha, Jomi. Thank you. All right. I hope this wasn't too like overwhelming for anyone. It was not meant to be that way at all. Like I said, we're going to have this saved in our group so you can go back and watch it at any time that you need to. And yeah, like I said, those were the basics, believe it or not. I can go much further into it than I did, but I will let you guys go for tonight. Have a great night, guys.